Maddy. How toxic is too toxic? Her entire value comes from her desirability, sexually especially, in her physical appearance. But then, it's all that glitters gold. Because even though she seems to be like the it girl, the hot girl in town, the girl that it seems every other girl looks up to, she seems to be in a lot of emotional pain. Girls, don't let a guy buying you a Birkin or whatsoever keep you in a relationship that you have to run away from. Welcome, my royal babes, back to the channel. This is your Queen Angel. There have been too many issues surrounding this TV show, Euphoria, and the characters and everything, and I felt like this would be a very great topic to touch on. I want to bring each and every character, issues that they were having, and how we can learn from it. So now, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first character we are going to be talking about is Maddy. So Maddy is this, is she Latina? She's the hot girl in town. She's the hot girl in the class. And she seems to be very preoccupied with her appearance and how she looks, with the eyeliner, the makeup looks that I'm trying to learn, but never learn. And she seems very in tune with her sexuality too. And she also, most of the time, she dresses in revealing clothes. And it seems like her self-esteem, a lot of her self-esteem and her self-worth, she gets it from the gaze of men and how men feel about her. Looking at it, how she dresses, especially when she went to Nate's family's charity thing, I don't know what it was, but when she went there and she called his mom the C word, what she was wearing, those kind of clothes, I feel like she dresses like that from a lack of self-esteem, low self-esteem, and trying to get validation on who she is. Like when she dresses like that and she knows, yes, I am that B. She seems to me to think that her entire value comes from her desirability, sexually especially, in her physical appearance. But then, it's all that glitters gold. Because even though she seems to be like the it girl, the hot girl in town, the girl that it seems every other girl looks up to, she seems to be in a lot of emotional pain.
Everyone like so dramatic.
And it seems to me like she masks a lot of those pain and the issues with alcohol. And even at the fanfare when I think Nate told her not to, he doesn't want to see her because she has dressed like a hooker. So she and Cassie went to take like drugs, went to take that. So they can, I don't know, I feel like it was a way to mask her pain basically. And when she took those substances, that's when she had the drive to go and talk to the Nate's family and parents and ask them why they didn't like her and say those words to the mom. The relationship between Maddy and Nate is so toxic. Like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've seen toxic relationship, but this one takes the cake. It's so toxic, but why is she still there? Because she thinks having worse is better than having worst. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say, but she has seen her mom be with her father, a man who practically does not deserve her, who does nothing, who does not work, is always just sitting there pretending like he's finding a job, but is not doing anything. She has seen her mom being with such a man for so many years. So she thinks if my mom will be with a man that does nothing for her, then me being with Nate means I'm actually better off. Even if it's the worst situation, at least it's not the worst. Now let's summarize. Number one, Maddy is in a toxic relationship with Nate and she believes that being with him is better than the alternative, which is not. Two, she covers up his abuse. Like he actually choked her and she was almost dying. And she covered it up when the police came to arrest him. And she said it's not him because she thinks he loves her and she's so tied to him.
I'm fine. Why is everyone like so dramatic?
Three, she basically wants to be a trophy wife. She said in one of the scenes when she was younger, which I'll talk about later, that there are two types of women in this world. The women who sit on the chair leisurely with their books, relaxing, while the other women are down on their legs, serving them. Basically, the women who get their pedicures done and the other women who do the pedicures. And she wants to be that woman that sits on the chair reading magazines. Basically, a trophy wife who does nothing. And she feels like Nate is the best person to provide that for her. 4, she sleeps around to make Nate jealous when they keep going off and on, even in the pool with that stranger guy or whatsoever. 5, Maddy is losing herself and she even became an accessory to attempted murder when Nate wanted to kill the guy that apparently... Why is Maddy like this? Why is she basically Maddy? Number 1, childhood trauma. Maddy's behavior and the self-worth that she has may be a part of experiences that she may have experienced in her childhood that caused trauma to her. For example, we see in one of the scenes that she was a victim of racism, but she's a boss. She literally banged their heads on the walls and whatsoever. But still, imagine how she may have felt inside, that she's different from the other kids. Even if she's that girl, she must have, whatever they said to her still must have gotten to her, and that may have affected her self-worth. Number 2, low self-esteem and trying to seek validation from others. So she trying to seek validation from others, especially with her sexual appeal, is seen more when she just grabs that guy and then does the do with him. Like, she knows that she can get it if she wants to, and she seems to get her validation a lot from there. And that could be because she may have felt not as attractive, maybe because of how she looks or whatsoever, and that's why she feels like she has to get her validity from men or from whosoever will give it to her. Point number 3, unhealthy relationships. Oh yeah, she lied to him that she was a virgin when she met him, but it wasn't true. But we don't know if is he actually her first boyfriend. You can correct me in the comments below because I don't really remember. But Maddy's relationship with Nate decreased her self-esteem to the floor, even though she behaves like it's not affecting her. Going off and on with some guy that would just bring a girl to the party and be holding her buttocks. Of course, it's going to deteriorate your self-esteem, even if he keeps choosing you.
I literally look disgusting. Nate just like totally ruins my confidence. You know when somebody just constantly criticizes like everything about you?
All of that may also contribute to how she feels. They say that people who are victims of abuse find it the hardest to leave their abusers because it may be because of soul ties, it may be because of trauma bonds, and not knowing wherever else to go. So she seems to be trapped with Nate in a cycle of abuse and codependency.
It wasn't the violence that scared her. It was the fact that she knew no matter what he did, she'd still love him.
It's like they rely on each other to satisfy them. It's like both of them, they belong to each other. They are soulmates. So no matter how toxic they are, they cannot leave each other. So like I said before, Maddy wanted to be the trophy wife. That's why she puts up with Nate's behavior, because at least he provides for her, unlike her mom and father dynamic. Like the jacket that he bought for her, she just had to say a few words and then he got her the jacket. So why would she not want to continue being there? Which is like the most stupid excuse ever. Like, girls, don't let a guy buying you a Birkin or whatsoever keep you in a relationship that you have to run away from. I know it can be easier said than done, but we are not going to have a mindset of lack from now on. Think the abundance mindset, that if this man will not do for me, another man would. So I don't have to keep being stuck in a relationship that is not satisfying, that is not helpful for both you and the other person. Because if it's not good for you, it's not good for the other person too. And you're preventing yourself from meeting the person that God may have ordained for you. Another reason is because she might actually really think he loves her, even though he abuses her or whatsoever. He might think he loves her because she has not really seen what true love actually is, at least from the example with her parents. So if Nate is actually doing something, which even if it's the bare minimum, at least he's doing something, she can see that the relationship is toxic. Even at the party, she said that they were not good for each other. Even his parents doesn't like her and even called her by another girl's name. Yet, instead of taking it at face value and saying, then this is not for me, I am out, she will instead call them other derogatory names and take offense to it and continue staying there. Make it make sense. That scene, I was not sure about it, but there was a scene that when Nate brought another girl to the party, and I don't know if it was before or after, and she slept with him again. I was confused. I was like, wait, so is this before the party or after the party? After he had made your name, like he had literally walked all over you, and you were going to sleep with him again? Like, make it make sense. Like, I do not understand what is happening. If you're on a break, be on a break. What is this intertwining things? What is that for? And it's also because she's so tied to him. Like, they are joined together as one. Like, she just cannot leave him alone. Because going away from him is like tearing two pieces of paper that have been glued down. When you put two pieces of paper together and they are glued, try it. You will see it becomes hard to pull. And even if you're able to pull it, some of the traces of one paper will be stuck on the other paper. That's how it is with soul ties. When you're trying to pull away from the person that you are bonded with, that's why it's so hard to separate, that you keep going back, because that's all you know and you just can't leave him because of that bond. I was reasoning, This constant cycle of breaking up and getting back together is exhausting. Like, how long can this really last? How toxic is too toxic? She even goes as far as sleeping with a guy in public just to get back at Nate. Like, this is basically a porn star because everybody was filming them. Doesn't she see that she's losing herself? All these bonds for strangers. For what? Because of some toxic guy who almost killed a guy because he supposedly raped her, even though he knows the truth. And she also knew that if she tells him that, he's going to basically kill that guy. And because she wanted to get back into his good graces and get back with him, she would rather lie and put somebody else in harm's way than to say the truth. How does her relationship with her parents contribute to her behavior? From what I've seen, it seemed like her parents were preoccupied with their own lives and they seem to have neglected her. With her mom, she being a single mom having to take care of her, I don't know if she had siblings, because the father was basically doing nothing. So it makes sense that the mother will be preoccupied with trying to make ends meet. Even though the mother is doing it for a good cause, that would also contribute to her feelings of low self-esteem and insecurity. She may feel like she does not have the support and the validation that she needs from her family. And where will she get that support and validation? Outside, from whosoever will give it to her, no matter how toxic it may be. And that also leads to developing attachment issues. Insecure attachments will develop, and that will make it even harder to form healthy relationships. So like, even if she wants to form a healthy relationship, she will not know how to because of her attachment style now. Like Kat, I'll talk about her later too, but her attachment style is so wrong now that even when she has a healthy, good relationship, she cannot make good use of it because all she knows is the wrong ways, the bad ways, and she doesn't know what to do with a healthy relationship, and she finds it boring. Her parents also may have contributed, at least her mom, to her seeking validation with her physical appearance, because when she was a lot younger, I think she was like 11, she was being taken to beauty pageants, she was crowned, those kind of things. So she knew that she was that girl from younger, and she knew to win a beauty pageant, then you have to look good. Your physical appearance has to be top notch. So she may have felt like her physical appearance is all that mattered when it came to her, not her brains, not whatsoever, because she didn't want to be in school or work anyway. And she may have internalized the messages she may have gotten from beauty pageants and felt like her value or her worth is tied to only her looks. 3, I've said this before, but her mom is an esthetician. So basically, I think in this thing, they show that her mom was doing foot massages and pedicures, but I don't know if there's more to it. But she wants to be not like her mom. She finds her mom's job to be worthless. She wants to be like those women in the chair that sit down and do nothing. For the characters of Euphoria, what they need the most is the love of God. They need that unconditional love that never changes, because that's what I felt like all of them were lacking. And that's why they go into things like casual sex, lack of respect, drinking and doing drugs to forget their wounds, relying on people for love that they are not even able to give. They need the love of God. By having a relationship with Him, they are able to experience the love of God through a relationship with God. And how will a relationship with God help Maddy? Number 1, is to teach her forgiveness. Forgiving herself for all the things she's done to hurt herself and to hurt other people too. Like that Tyler guy that she lied on. Number 2, forgiving others, like her mom and her dad, who basically instilled nothing into her life to help her, show her that she's deserving of everything, and she's unique and she's wonderfully made, and that she does not have to seek a validation from anyone. Jesus says that, for if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. So that is why Maddy has to forgive, to let go of any resentment she has towards anybody, even Nate that abused her, even went for her best friend in season 2. I feel like we will talk more about season 2, Maddy and Cassie, in other videos, so look forward to it. But I feel like to let go of him and whatever soul tie that she has with him, she has to first forgive him of everything that he has done to her. He does not deserve her forgiveness, but forgiving him would help her. Forgiveness means that she does not care anymore about him, because hate is also a feeling, and the more she keeps hating him, the more she's unable to let go of him. Having a relationship with God will teach her self-worth, to teach her that she's valuable and she's wonderfully and fearfully made. And God made her with a purpose, and so that's why she will derive her self-worth. Like Kat was saying in one episode that It's always the beautiful woman that telling her or other people that you have to be beautiful, you have to love yourself, you are beautiful, you are this, you have to love yourself, like by force ingraining it into their heads that they have to love themselves. But how are they going to love themselves just from thin air? No. When it's ingrained in the fact that God loves you and God made you with worth and a purpose, God fearfully, He took His time, not wanting to make a mistake, to make you. That's when you know that, oh, I'm precious and I deserve to be treated with respect. I deserve to have the best things in life. I don't deserve abuse. I praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Having a relationship with God would help Maddy develop a self-worth that goes beyond seeking external validation from others or just her appearance. Community. Because once you get to know God and you start attending church services and youth services, you start to gain a community with like-minded people, other fellow Christians that would support you and would help you in seeking God and having an even deeper relationship with God way more. And you know what they say, birds of a feather flock together. So when you're in such a community who want the best for you and who does not want you to go back to abusive or toxic situations like what she has with Nate, that's when she's able to heal and move on. Let us consider how we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another. Finding a community of like-minded people who share her values would help her not feel as alone, especially because a lot of people, when they are in abusive situations, they feel like it's only them that it's happening to and why them, but to help her feel like she's not alone in this. Healing. So our God is a God that heals. There's nothing that God is unable to heal you from. So that toxic relationship that she has with Nate, that soul ties that are bonding her to him. I spoke about soul ties in my other video, so I'll put the link above so you can go and watch it after this. So everything that she cannot heal from with him, God is able to just heal her. Just make everything be a thing of the past. Like me with my past situationships, broken friendships. God was able to heal me from the pain. In that moment, it felt like it's going to last forever. But I'm free now. I'm okay now. Because God did it. But He was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon Him. And by His wounds we are healed. All those wounds that Jesus endured on the cross, that leads to our healing. That's why no matter what you've done, no matter what you are going through, there's nothing that God is not able to heal you from. Whatever sickness, whatever disease, no matter mental illness, there's nothing God isn't able to heal you from. Also, to heal, she needs to have the strength to leave her toxic relationship. That's the number one thing that she needs to do. Because He even put a bullet on her just to collect the CD that she had of Jews. Like, if that's not toxic, what is that? So she has to leave him immediately. But God give her the strength to be able to do it, because she knows God is on her side and there's nothing anybody can do to her. The Lord is with me, I will not fear. What can man do to me? Having a relationship with God will also make her realize that she's not alone in her struggles. Like, other people will share their testimonies on how God helped them overcome abusive situations and toxic relationships, and that would help her understand that she's not alone in this. And because other people have been able to overcome, she's able to also overcome, and that nothing is too hard for God, and that there's nothing that she's not able to get through. As Maddy embarks on this healing journey, it is also essential that she has support from her friends and family, especially the friends that want to encourage her to go back to Nate, or toxic friends like what Cassie did to her, but actual good friends that would help her see that what she's doing is wrong and she should not carry on with this. By being able to create a non-judgmental and a free and safe environment, Maddy is able to embark on a journey of healing more efficiently. Healing takes time, so don't think you may be like Maddy, or you've been through what Maddy has been through. You think, oh, I've been healing for one day, I've been healing for 1 year, I've been healing for 2 years, and it's still not working. Healing takes time. Especially if you've been with this guy for maybe 5 years or 10 years, you cannot expect to be healed from him in one day. Even the memories, how long will it take for you to forget the memories and to bury the memories? So don't force yourself to heal. These are some Bible verses that I believe will be very helpful for Maddy. Cast all your cares and burdens onto God because He cares for you. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you'll find rest for your souls. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in Him, and He helps me. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise Him. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. So for anybody who is suffering from anxiety, suffering from a broken heart, suffering from abusive situations, I hope these verses help you and encourage you to be able to live. Okay, so these are other different ways that Maddy can help from this toxic relationship cycle. So number one, by seeking professional help, especially with therapy. Like, I've been hearing of BetterHelp, where you can even select a Christian therapist. And I feel like I really want to do it too, because I feel like therapy, everybody has to at least undergo it once, just to spill out everything that may be worrying you, and then getting to the root of why you behave, and your attachment style will be really helpful. Number two, practice self-care. She undergoing practices like journaling, exercising, eating healthy food, keeping her inside right, will also reflect on the outside. Number three, setting boundaries. She has to know her boundaries with men, especially, and with friends too. So when she sees anybody crossing the line, like how Nate did, breaking up with her, going for other girls, I'm done. You cannot be stringing me along. Like, you treat me well one day, bringing me flowers every day, and then when you see that I am hooked on you, you start to pull away and start to treat me anyhow. I'm not standing for it. So that's what Maddy has to do. She has to be able to set boundaries and make sure her boundaries are set in place, no matter how hard they are. Exploring her relationship with God and reading the Bible daily, fasting and praying, having personal quiet times with God one-to-one, so that she can get to know God better, and then she can understand the love God has for her, and that it's so unconditional. She does not have to seek the validation anywhere else. And then one thing that I feel like will really help Maddy is if she remains celibate, so she does not continue with the toxic relationship cycles of going for the similar kind of men like Nate anymore. So I'll put other Bible verses that may help Maddy on the screen, and I hope it helps you too. The next video is coming in 1, 2. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in a video coming up. We're going to be talking about Cassie.
For God so loved you that He gave His only Son, so you and I will believe in Him and not perish, but have everlasting life.